ticketing, an open loop for sure is for sure the way to go. However, open loop is not always limited to EMV. There's a huge advantage of one payment mechanism that is suitable for any payment done, including public transportation. While in a number of developed countries this will be EMV, in others like China and India this might be based on other schemes such as Alipay, Paytm, WeChat Pay. The key for public transportation is to accept multi-modes of payment. The key for accepting multi-modes of payment is to go from offline terminals to online terminals. I think this is the big technology change that needs to happen in public transportation. Connected terminals are lighter and process the payments on the server or in the cloud. The introduction of 4G and 5G terminals will be driving this.
I think we can expect the account-based ticketing capability to evolve over time. On the one hand, supporting an ever wider range of fare types, so not just single rides and weeklies, but also more complex fare products like monthlies and concessions, possibly the accrual of loyalty. And on the other hand, we can see the evolution of account-based ticketing to employ an ever wider range of technology. Today, that's contactless bank cards and mobile phones. Tomorrow, it might be, who knows, a biosignature.
What most banks and schemes don't realize is that the margin in public transportation are razor thin. In most countries, the fares are set by the government, and changing fares in many cases is a parliamentary decision. While it is likely that deployments with EMV will go down in investment amounts for the transport operator, this is most certainly not the case yet. Hence, transit payments in using EMV will have a very hard time outside the main urban, rail-based transport systems. It will require a major turnaround from the technology providers and the schemes, which is not likely to result in big deployments before the years of 2025. The opportunity for account-based ticketing does not have to be related to EMV. Any identifier can start your transaction. And backend systems, direct debit transactions will go outside the EMV network, instead using instant debit that is now available in many countries.
And so how big is the opportunity in this space today? Well, to me, it's as big as all the fare boxes of all the transit operators of all the cities all over the world.
Even in the near future, the form factor won't matter that much. As all the calculations and payments will happen in the cloud and on the servers, it is going to be very possible to check in with your card, check out with your phone, as long as they all connected to the same account. Check in with your card or bracelet or even your PIN on your vest. This is one of the big advantages of account-based ticketing. There are now already many tests where your facial template is the token. You can just step into the bus, the terminal will look at you and recognize you and check you in. Of course, the phone will be the one terminal where you check your routes, plan your transactions and bookings, do payments, and will play a greater role in your transport plannings.
Cards are dematerializing, and we're seeing their digital incarnation delivered in a range of mobile wallets, like Apple, Google, and Samsung, to name a few. Consumer tech is ever evolving, and second-guessing whether it's wearables, phones, or cards which are preferred in the future is probably less important than putting in place a framework that makes tap-in, tap-out acceptance seamless, regardless of device.
I think the use of data and reporting has not been very prevalent in public transportation industry and is likely the big progress in the coming years. Significant amount of data are becoming available from transport solutions, like traffic info, throughput speeds of vehicles, number of people, where they get in, where they get out. They are providing vital information for operators to increase the efficiency of their assets, but also governments for enforcement and urban planning. Regional data monitoring for all modes of transport, where all means of transport can be used to resolve bottlenecks in the future. Unfortunately, this future is not so imminent yet. Imagine a way where if there's an accident in the northern part of the city, the system can automatically redirect the number of buses, bicycle shares, ride share services in the right amount to clear the bottleneck.
Insights delivered by data will eventually overhaul our transit systems, leading to reduced congestion, pollution, and ultimately a more efficient use of the network. Example areas ripe for change might include demand management / fleet dispatching, rerouting at peak or during disruption, understanding where to make investments into new transit links or first and last mile integration, and finally applying automatic price incentives to change route or time of travel behavior.
I'm convinced that payment will have to go multi-mode and multi-market once we move closer to mobility as a service. It should not be the job of the transport operator to get involved in all payment mechanisms. It should just accept what is available and what makes sense. Transportation, the biggest inroads is made by electronic wallets today. In China, we see Alipay and WeChat Pay with equivalents in almost all countries or regions. The main technical hurdle, however, for using wallets as payment, using QR as payment, and also using your phone as payment is the speed connection of the terminals and validators. With 5G, this should be resolved, and all terminals and systems can clear payments online at a similar speed as current RFID methods, which will then decline in popularity. Ideally, transport will be a multi-mode with one payment. It is expected that the usage of public transportation will rise significantly in the years to come. The burden on urban areas with regular traffic will even grow faster. A large incline in urban areas, lots of congestion. There will be no way that the infrastructure can keep up with this increase, and we will just get more and more congested as long as we keep operating in the same silo model for each services. That you have bus services, train services, shared ride services. MaaS, mobility as a service, can be used available data to predict faster travel time, cheaper options, and load balance the passengers over the available services. Private partnerships like Grab and Uber, Gojek have so far only increased the population and traffic on the roads. The only way to increase mobility in cities and urban areas if there will be a cooperation between the services and service models. An Uber picks you up from the house, delivers you to the nearest train station where your train is leaving as direct as possible to your destination, where another means of transport, such as a bike share, another car share, will be ready to take you to your office. This versus the Uber bringing you all the way from your house to the office, contributing significantly to the traffic congestions. You will see a number of multimode transportations with a single payment schemes and schemes coming in the next 5 years. The technology for such services is available. The working model between the governments and private sector transport services will take some time to settle. I look forward to being part of this, and I would like to thank you for your interest.
And so what will the commuting experience of the future look like? Well, I believe transit authorities will always be there to provide the service of sort of physically moving people around in vehicles. Passengers may use perhaps a wayfinding tool to plan how to get from A to B, and then they'll just ride. No need for cash, for tickets, and no need to understand a fare table.